This is Economy Watch, what you need to know about New Zealand's economic life today. Brought to you by interest.co.nz.
Kia ora, and welcome to Wednesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we lead with news that is surprisingly positive. Even though there are likely large influences on New Zealand from events halfway around the world, there are some locally too. Later this morning, the third quarter 2024 labour market report will be released, and we will have full coverage. But before that, we've had another dairy auction, and this one will have analysts reaching for their pencils. It was a good one, with overall prices rising 4.8% in US dollar terms, up 6.2% in New Zealand dollar terms. That takes them to their best level since late 2022. The gains were widespread, led by butter's 8.3% jump. Demand out of China is the extra push this market got, and it could well bring upside to Farmgate payout forecasts. In the background, animal health concerns in both the US and EU and weak domestic raw milk prices in China are driving lower production expectations globally, just when New Zealand production is in an expansion state. But the good economic news didn't stop there. The Red Book tracking of retail sales in the US delivered a 6% rise last week from the same week a year ago. That was its best since mid-2022. And the American Logistics Report for October revealed a small rise from a strong September, taking this index to its best expansion since September 2022. Growth is increasing at an increasing rate in all the right metrics. And the ISM Services PMI for October was sharply positive too, and its most expansionary level since August 2022. Encouragingly, this sharp turnaround was driven by strong new order growth. This survey basically confirmed the expansion in the S&P Market Services PMI version and its drive in new order growth too. US merchandise exports slipped slightly in September from August, but we need to recall that the August level was a record high, and that Boeing strikes and production woes will have had an effect here. US imports were strong, as you would expect, with most sectors of their economy firing on all cylinders. And we should note that the strike at Boeing is over, with a startling 44% pay hike over 4 years. The catch-up will no doubt drive future export results. And there was another well-supported US Treasury 10-year bond auction earlier this morning, and that delivered a yield of 4.29%, which compares with 4.01% of the equivalent event a month ago. Not to be outdone, the Canadian Services PMI turned up sharply to expansion as well, also driven by new order growth. In China, the October Caixin Services PMI largely mirrored the official version, but recording a better expansion than the official version in a better-than-expected result. In Australia, as expected, there was no change by the RBA to their policy interest rate, but they warned that another interest rate hike was still a possibility, conceding they had been surprised by the scale of the rise in government spending. They are also surprised that housing demand is staying up despite their highish interest rates. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.34% and up 4 basis points from this time yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $2,738 an ounce, up $5 from yesterday. And oil prices are up $1 at $72.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just on $76 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 60 US cents and up another 20 basis points from yesterday. Against the Aussie, we're down 30 basis points at 90.5 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're up 10 basis points at 55 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 68.7 and little change from yesterday at this time. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $70,108 and up 3.5% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been moderate at just on plus or minus 2.8%. You can find links to the articles mentioned today in our show notes, and you can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.